Have you ever tried to hold water in your hands? There is an ancient piece of Eastern wisdom that speaks to this. If you clench your fists, desperately trying to trap every single drop, what happens? The water, under pressure, simply slips through your fingers and vanishes into nothing. But if you relax your palms, gently forming the shape of a cup, the water settles and stays. You hold it not with force, but with acceptance. This simple, powerful image reveals one of the greatest paradoxes of our lives. The more desperately we try to control reality, to bend it to our will, the more it seems to slip away from us. Think about the world we live in. Every single day, millions of people wake up with a deep, burning desire to command their own destiny. Their minds are already racing before their feet hit the floor. They create meticulous plans, build complex strategies, and try to predict every possible twist and turn of the day ahead. And yet, so many of them go to bed at night with a nagging feeling of frustration, as if their goals are a horizon that moves further away the faster they run towards it. Why does this happen? Have you ever wondered why our most intense efforts to force a relationship to work often lead to its collapse? Or why a desperate, stressful chase for financial security so frequently ends in greater loss and anxiety? The answer isn't in working harder. The answer lies in understanding the very nature of reality itself, and how our internal world of thoughts and feelings literally shapes our external world of experiences. When you try to excessively control a situation, you unknowingly generate a powerful disturbance in the energy field around you. In the world of reality transurfing, this is called an excess potential. This is not some vague, mystical concept. It's a tangible energy born from a fear of failure, a deep distrust in the natural, intelligent flow of life, and a conditioned belief that success must always be a hard-fought battle. Let's make this real. Imagine someone who has a life-changing job interview next week. The moment the interview is scheduled, the obsession begins. For 7 days, they are lost in a mental rehearsal hall, endlessly practicing answers, agonizing over their outfit, and running through every worst-case scenario. Their inner monologue becomes a relentless loop. What if I freeze up? What if they ask me something I don't know? What if they see I'm nervous? I absolutely have to make the perfect impression. Can you feel the tightness in that energy? That vibration of anxiety and force gets broadcast out into the world like a radio signal. The interviewers, who are just people, pick up on this signal without even realizing it. They can feel the tension in the room. Instead of a natural, confident, and engaging conversation, the entire interaction feels strained and artificial. The cruel irony is that the very attempt to control everything and make it perfect is precisely what causes it to fall apart. We see this same dynamic play out in our most intimate relationships. Have you ever seen a partner try to sculpt the person they love into their own ideal image? They helpfully correct their stories, try to manage their schedule, or subtly disapprove of their choices. This energy of coercion, no matter how well-intentioned, creates an instant and powerful resistance. It is a fundamental law of human nature. We intuitively pull away from anything that feels like pressure, even when that pressure is wrapped in the language of love. This intense, white-knuckled focus is what transurfing calls creating importance. It's an energetic distortion that arises whenever we assign an overwhelming, life-or-death meaning to a particular event or outcome. When importance becomes too high, it creates that excess potential, and the universe, in its quest for balance, must send out balancing forces to neutralize it, often by giving you the very outcome you feared the most. So, what is the alternative? How do you reduce this importance and escape the cycle? The key is a profound shift in perspective, understanding that the future isn't a single, fixed point you must fight to reach. It is a vast, open field of infinite possibilities, and you have the power to choose which path you walk. Modern quantum physics has already confirmed this. Reality exists as a shimmering cloud of countless potentials, all waiting for a conscious observer. It is the act of observation that collapses the wave of probability into a single, concrete event. Believe it or not, the exact same principle governs your life. Every situation you face exists in a field of multiple potential outcomes. Your emotional state, your dominant attitude towards that event, is your act of observation. It is the energetic signal you send out, which largely determines which of those countless possibilities will crystallize into your reality. When you anxiously fixate on the worst-case scenario, you are energetically illuminating and feeding that very outcome. Your fear acts like a spotlight, singling out the unfavorable script from the quantum field and pulling it into your life. But what if you chose a different approach? Imagine cultivating a state of calm trust, making only minor course corrections when needed. This state allows the simplest, most elegant, and most harmonious outcomes to manifest effortlessly. This isn't about ignoring reality or chanting empty affirmations. It is about accessing a fundamentally different state of consciousness, a state of radical openness to solutions and opportunities you could not have possibly conceived of with your logical, controlling mind. But what is this true trust? Let's be clear. It is not passive waiting. It is not a naive, childish belief that your dreams will just magically appear at your doorstep. True trust is an active and powerful state. You could call it relaxed readiness. It is the readiness to fully accept what is happening in the present moment, while also being ready to act with calm, clear-headed decisiveness, free from the drama of panic and fear. A sailor cannot control the wind, but he can adjust his sails. Trust is learning to adjust your sails in harmony with the winds of life. When you operate from this state of trust, you begin to resonate with the natural flow of favorable currents. Your inner calm and openness act like a magnet, attracting people, situations, and synchronicities that are vibrating on that same harmonious frequency. The right people call you at the right time. Unexpected doors swing open. What once required exhausting effort and constant struggle now begins to happen with a sense of ease and natural grace. Mastering this technique of letting go begins with a single crucial skill: awareness. The very first step is to become a detective of your own inner state. Learn to notice, without judgment, the exact moment the impulse to control, force, or worry arises. Where does it live in your body? Is it a sudden tension in your shoulders, a quickening of your breath, a familiar storm of obsessive thoughts? Perhaps it's that tight knot of anxiety in your solar plexus. The moment you spot it, you can begin. Start with your breath. It is the anchor to the present moment. Take a slow, deep inhale and follow it with an even slower, longer exhale. This simple act is a powerful signal to your nervous system to stand down from high alert. As you breathe out, visualize that need for control as a gray smoke and watch it leave your body with the air. Let it dissolve into the atmosphere. The next level is to transform your inner dialogue. Your mind will offer you rigid, fearful statements. Instead of, "This absolutely must happen this exact way," or "I have to get that job," or "My life is over," consciously replace them with softer, more expansive language. Try affirmations like, "I am open to the best possible outcome, whatever it may be," or Everything is always working out for my highest good, even if I can't see how right now. The deepest level of letting go is a complete and total surrender to what you might call life's inherent wisdom, a higher intelligence, or the natural, effortless flow of reality. This is not about becoming passive or irresponsible. It means you still do your part. You prepare for the interview, you have the conversation, you build the business plan. You do your work with total dedication and excellence, and then you release your white-knuckled grip on the outcome. You do your part, and you trust the universe to do its part. One of the most profound skills in this entire practice is learning to hold a clear, unwavering intention without being rigidly attached to the specific script of how it must unfold. Your intention is your inner compass. It simply points north. It sets your direction. Attachment, on the other hand, is a rigid turn-by-turn map that you refuse to deviate from, even when a beautiful, scenic highway opens up right next to you. Sometimes, the easiest path to your goal is right in front of you, but you stubbornly choose to climb a treacherous, rocky mountain simply because of a deep-seated belief that nothing in life comes easy. That very belief is a cage. A rigid fixation on only one method of achieving a goal dramatically limits your possibilities. But when you embrace flexibility, when you remain open to unexpected detours and surprising opportunities, you multiply your chances of success 100-fold. Life itself provides the most beautiful evidence. Remember the manager who dreamed of a promotion? She burned herself out, working late, playing political games, and constantly trying to prove her worth. The more she pushed, the more toxic her work environment became. But the moment she finally let go, the moment she decided to release her desperate need for that specific promotion and simply focus on doing her work with joy and quality, something incredible happened. An even better opportunity, a leadership position at a rival company with a higher salary and more creative freedom, found her. It was a possibility that didn't even exist on her rigid map. Or think of the man who was exhausted from his long search for a life partner. Dating had become a second job, filled with analysis, strategy, and disappointment. When he finally grew tired of the endless search and decided to pour that energy back into his own passions, his hobbies, his personal growth, the universe responded. He met the woman who would become his wife not on an app, but by complete chance in a bookstore, when they both reached for the very same rare book. These stories all illuminate one fundamental principle. When we stop desperately chasing, we finally create the empty space for what we desire to enter our lives gracefully and naturally. You can begin applying this in your life today, in the smallest of moments. Before an important meeting, instead of spending 10 minutes catastrophizing, spend 2 minutes taking deep breaths and affirming, "I am ready for the best possible outcome." When you find yourself in a difficult conflict, you can gently remind yourself, "I cannot control another person's behavior, but I have absolute control over my own response." Even in the tiny frustrations of daily life, a traffic jam when you're late, a long checkout line at the store, each one is a training ground. Instead of tensing up and fuming, you can consciously choose to breathe and accept the moment for what it is. This practice not only makes your life infinitely more peaceful, but it also reduces the energetic charge that attracts those frustrating situations in the first place. In the end, life is much like a dance. To be a truly great dancer, you cannot just lead. You must also know how to be led. You have to feel the rhythm of the music and move in harmony with it. A clumsy dancer fights the melody, trying to force his own tempo, stepping on his partner's toes. But a skilled dancer listens. They feel the music, they surrender to it, and they allow it to guide their movements, all while adding their own unique grace and personal expression to the flow. The art of letting go is not about abandoning your goals. It is about a profound shift in strategy, from forcing and fighting to attracting and allowing. It is a conscious choice to move from a state of struggle against life to a state of creative collaboration with it. When we finally stop wasting our precious energy on resisting the current, we discover we have so much more strength left for what truly matters, for creativity, for love, for connection, and for joy. By giving up the illusion of rigid control, we gain something far more valuable: true power. The power to be in perfect harmony with life itself. And it is in that harmony that real miracles are born, the kind of beautiful, surprising miracles you could never have planned.